You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. Mel Kiper today did put out a mock draft. He also updated his big board. And the big board, if you're not familiar, is the top 25 overall prospects. Not a mock draft, it's just ranking the top 25 prospects in the draft, and then the top 10 by position. And this really, really was startling for me today. So, not surprisingly, Kiper does not have anyone in the top 25 overall. I don't think we expected that. B.J. Ojulari, Kayshon Boutte were the two players who had a possibility of being there this year. Not surprising that neither are. So, as Kiper goes through his top 10 at each position, no quarterbacks, no running backs, no fullbacks. That's not surprising. There wouldn't be anyone in the running there. He does have Kayshon Boutte as the 9th best receiver in this year's draft. So Zay Flowers, who we mentioned from Boston College, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Quentin Johnson, Jordan Addison, Jalen Hyatt, Jaden Reed from Michigan State, Josh Downs, Cedric Tillman, and then Kayshon Boutte. So Boutte, the 9th best receiver. No tight ends. No offensive tackles. No offensive guards. So meaning Anthony Bradford, got baseball in my brain. Anthony Bradford, not in the top 10. No centers. He's got B.J. Ojulari as the 5th best defensive end, but no Ali Gay. And he even lists, under the just miss, players who maybe just missed being in the top 10. No Ali Gay. Defensive tackles. No Jaquelin Roy. Inside linebackers. No Micah Baskerville. No outside linebackers. No cornerbacks. No safeties. Meaning no Jarek Bernard-Converse, no Mekhi Gardner, no Jay Ward. Going position by position, ranking the top 10 and those who just missed the cut. At every position on the field, Mel Kiper has 2 LSU players. Kayshon Boutte, B.J. Ojulari. That's it. Now, 9 LSU players were invited to the Combine. And all 9 of them have a chance to get drafted. Kayshon Boutte, B.J. Ojulari, Ali Gay, Jay Ward, Jaquelin Roy, Jeray Jenkins, Micah Baskerville, Mekhi Gardner, Anthony Bradford. All 9 of those guys have a chance to be drafted. And Jarek Bernard-Converse, I think, has a chance to be drafted as well. So you could see the number of drafted players from LSU actually look pretty respectable this year. But I was thinking about this earlier. In years where LSU maybe had a down draft year, what did that say about the team the following year? And this does make sense to say when you have a light draft year, typically that means you had a lot of guys stay in school, and so you had a good year following. The most glaring example would have been the 2019 draft. So the 2019 draft would have been after the 2018 season and before the 2019 season. LSU had 3 players taken in that draft. 3. Devin White, Greedy Williams, Foster Moreau. That was it. 3. And they followed that up with the best season in the history of college football. The 2016 draft had only 5 players taken and did not have a first rounder. The reason I bring that up is because the 2016 season, we'll all remember 2016 for when Ed Ogeron took over as an interim when Les Miles got fired 4 games into the season. What most people forget about that draft, or about that team, is everybody came back. LSU won the Texas Bowl against Patrick Mahomes and Texas Tech in 2015, and everybody came back in 2016. Ethan Posick came back. Tre'Davious White came back. You had Devon Gottschall. You had Arden Key. Kendall Beckwith came back for a senior season. Duke Riley was back for a senior season. That was a loaded team. People forget how loaded 2016 was. I mean, Will Clapp, Ethan Posick, Maya Tehuma, who was a 5-star. I mean, your receivers were DJ Chark and Malachi Dupree. Russell Gage was your number 3 on that team. Your running backs were Fournette, Geist, Darrell Williams. I mean, you were loaded on that team. All those guys chose to come back. Now, this is a little different because you lost a lot of guys to the draft. I mean, it's disappointing losing Jaquelin Roy early. It's disappointing seeing Anthony Bradford go. Nobody's surprised about B.J. Ojulari or Ali Gay, but the difference, though, I think, is how they've been able, with the transfer portal, to stockpile the roster and the guys that you do have coming back, because you do return a ton of talent. And not necessarily guys who were draft eligible who chose to come back, underclassmen who played very well for you, and then in spots you've been able to improve. But my point is, there is a history to suggest that when you have a weak draft, the following year tends to be a good season because you had a lot of guys choose to stay. We'll see if that's the case for LSU this year. Again, Mel Kiper, just 2 players among his top 10 at any position on his big board. Kayshon Boutte, the 9th best receiver. B.J. Ojulari, the 5th best defensive end. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.